We have a very special guest today, Jasmine Shah. She is founder of Aangikam Dance Academy in New Hampshire, and she has been a great performer and teacher of various types of Indian dance in the Newland area. Her Aangikam Dance Academy has been teaching dance for more than 30 years. Today she is with us in the studio to talk about a very special bridal show at upcoming India Newland Wedding Expo, where she is going to produce brides from different parts of India. Jasmine, welcome to our studio.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for coming.
No problem. Thanks for inviting me.
Sure, you are welcome. So we are going to start right away with your this unique production of brides from different areas at the Wedding Expo. How many states you are going to cover?
I'll be covering about 13 to 14 states, counting Gujarat to Maharashtra till Kashmir, Manipur.
What about Bengal?
Bengal, yes,
very-
of course, the Bengali bride. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, of course, Bengali bride is very unique. She looks very different and looks like a queen with that white crown on it.
Okay.
So yes, we have.
So
Bengali.
how did you come across the models and the dress and?
Honestly, I have been attending your wedding expo every year. Very interesting. So much fun to see all these vendors selling jewelry and saris and whatnot. And then those beauticians and mehndi people, decorators. And then, of course, dance and music, very lively, very interesting. And then last year when I was there, I myself felt at the same time, one of my students also said that Jasmine auntie, there is nothing like brides.
Sure.
We have all these things, but we really don't come and see anybody dressed up as a bride.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what gave me an idea. And at the same time, few years back, I had a dance show on weddings. And so I had some idea what I can do. And so then I suggested you that I can definitely do this. And so came up with this idea. I have all my students taking part in it.
So how many participants will be roughly there?
For the brides, of course, about 14 brides.
14 brides.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are young. Some of them are married.
Mm.
Some of them are young. Some of them are young at heart.
Mm-hmm.
And some are, of course, very young, not married.
Mm-hmm.
So they are going to be representing. I have, and the main reason for doing this, when we talk about Indian bride, and if we close our eyes, or we, somebody like me or you who have grown up in India, we know that how different our culture is.
Sure.
So all these brides, they all look beautiful, but they are so much different from one bride to the another
Sure.
bride. If we say let's talk about Bengali bride, then Bengali bride has this red and white sari, beautiful bindi, and that white crown. As versus Gujarati bride, she will be dressed up in white and red sari, and then we call it panetor, so it's a typical special sari. Or go to Rajasthani bride, she will have very colorful attire.
Mm-hmm.
And if we say Marathi bride, she'll be wearing this 9-yard sari in a kacha style with a pearl string going on her forehead and a mango style big nose ring, while Rajasthani or Gujarati bride will have round nose ring. So it's even small details. They are so different from one to another.
So how did you observe all these different?
Growing up, I was always interested in dance music and of course culture and traditions. It always attracts me, and I always like to learn about it, go into depth why certain things are done. Say like a haldi ceremony. We have all this haldi ceremony.
Sure.
I'm not sure how many people really know, but in past, because we didn't have spas or salons, nowadays the bride go to spa and does all this treatment and looks beautiful on the day of the wedding. But in past, they had to come up with the idea. So they used to use turmeric, which is very good for your skin.
Sure.
And that's how she will bring the glow on her face. At the same time, mehndi. So, that cools down. It says the medical reasons. It cools down your system. So it helps. So all these things, there are so many details in, say we used to put, in our Gujaratis, we wear this, not Gujaratis I would say, especially in Patel community, they were this typical kind of garlands, camphor garland, so which gives you the typical fragrance. So it makes you feel good.
Sure.
So those are all small details that brides are dressed up. There were reasons why certain things were done in certain way.
So for this upcoming show, like covering 14 states is
Yeah.
huge. It's a
Yeah,
huge task
yeah,
here.
yeah.
So for this, did you come with different concept yourself, or you had some help from other people?
No, I did it for myself.
Yourself,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So you must have watched and observed all these
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
different
I
phases.
do, and with all this, so many weddings nowadays we attend, so we know how each bride dresses up or how each community it is done, and I have also used traditional songs, wedding songs. Say if a Gujarati bride is entering, then there is a typical Gujarati song that describes that now the bride is entering. She's dressed up like this. She's done this, or for the a Bengali bride or Muslim bride, we have a typical wedding song that goes with the theme,
The theme. Oh,
and that I'll be using.
so how long each? How many minutes each will
Uh,
be roughly?
the whole concept
Production.
is for our production is about half an hour, which includes two dances,
Okay.
a dance, a mehndi dance, and a wedding dance, and in between that we'll have all these brides coming, and we'll
So
be
I
talking
don't
little
want
bit.
to spill the secret out here, but you also do every year your annual
Yes.
dance program, which
Yeah.
is hundreds of dancers participate
Yeah.
there. And this year in June, this wedding is
Yes,
also
my
going to
theme
be
is wedding,
going
yeah.
to be the theme. So
Yeah.
I attended last. It was really wonderful
Oh, thank you.
program. Now this leads me to another question: how did you get interested in dance, and at what age this happened?
I started at very young age. Uh, my first performance on the stage was when I was 4 years old, because my mom and my masi, my mom's sister, they were all great dancers. My
And I assume it was all in India.
Of course,
Right,
in
sure.
India, Bombay.
Sure.
And my Masi is still into dancing at the age of, she's 80 plus. She still dances. So that's how I got into it.
And you learned dance in India?
I learned dance in
Formal
India.
training and everything?
Yeah.
When did you come to US?
In 81, even after married, I had my daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in 81, and when did we start this dance?
Came here in 81. When I came here, I never thought of starting a dance school here. Came as a student's wife, and I was also planning to go to college, but they didn't recognize any of my credits, so didn't go to college here, because I had done MBA in India, but didn't give me any credits over here. So I didn't do that, and then didn't have green card that time. I was on a student visa. So some of my friends suggested, why don't you teach to our daughters? And that's how I started. I used to teach in India. I went back, when I was in India, I used to choreograph and I teach with my
And
own
what type
teacher.
of dances you teach? Like
I teach Bharat Natyam, Manipuri, folk dances, because I have learned almost all styles of folk dances. And now I do Bollywood also.
Bollywood dance.
Yeah.
Excellent. In addition to teaching dance, I have seen you dance on the stage as well.
Yeah.
And your performance is absolutely very graceful and spectacular.
Thank you.
What is the secret of that? How you are able to do that?
I don't know.
There must be some,
No,
training.
I dance from within. That's one thing. Once I go on the stage, audience doesn't bother me.
Sure.
Rather, it encourages me. And I just dance from within. That's all.
Is there any particular age to start learning dance? Or?
I would say 6 years is the perfect age.
Yeah.
But, I would say, I think myself, even and other teachers would agree that few years back, we never used to take students younger than 6. But now, today's generation is growing up so fast. I have seen girls at the age of 4 and 5, they do start, and they do great.
Oh, what
But
about-
I normally take at the age of 6.
Okay. What about, like people who are in, 30s, 40s?
Yeah, now
they-
they do learn. I have quite a few mothers classes also, adult
So
classes.
how the oldest your oldest student? How old?
I would say 60 plus.
60 plus. That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's,
I have few.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I have another question for
Yeah.
you. Most of your dancers I have seen, and even last year I went to your annual program. Most of the dancers are girls.
Yeah.
Do you have any boys or male who
You
come
know,
to want
and
to learn?
I had few boys. One of my boy student even did his Aangikam. Yeah. and
When was
you-
that?
That was, I don't know exactly. Must be, I would say, around 2000 probably. I don't remember exactly. And he was a great dancer, great performer. And he continued even after going to college.
So now what is he doing? Are you in touch with
He's a
him?
lawyer actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
He still dances? Or?
He used to dance when he was in college. Now I
Mm.
don't know. He's
Mm.
in Chicago and he's a lawyer.
Mm.
His parents are in this area.
So why this happen? Why the boys don't get
It's,
encouraged to dance?
you know,
It's,
well, honestly, Lord Shiva, Lord of Dance,
sure,
was
absolutely,
male.
yes.
Lord Krishna used to dance. So in past, they used to dance.
Sure.
Then I think then came a period where, it was considered that, oh, guys don't dance.
Mm.
But still in South India, there are great, there boys do learn. In Manipuri, boys do learn. In our Gujarat, they do Ras Garba. But I think when it comes to taking a formal training,
Mhm.
that's what they don't do probably.
And but here in the New England area in the United States now, the demand for learning dance and all is increasing.
Oh
And
yeah,
people
yeah.
wants
I
to.
do get a lot of calls for boys, but honestly, initially I thought I don't have patience with boys,
Mm.
and now I don't have time
Boys
for
are not
boys.
that bad actually.
They are not that bad.
They can be trained too,
They
right?
can be trained, of course. Yeah.
Okay. So the demand is increasing
Definitely.
for
No question
both
about
boys
it.
and
Oh,
girls
yeah.
and everything. Any other trend you have seen in terms of learning dance in the United States? Is it different than teaching here or learning here than in India, or it is the
It's
same?
it's not different, but definitely there's discipline is more in India.
Mm.
Of course, over here who teach very strict Bharat Natyam, they are very strict, disciplined teachers. And another thing is sometimes even if you want to be that strict or disciplined with the students, the students in United States are very different than in India.
Sure, sure.
It's our even in the schools, the teaching style is very different.
Mm.
The way teachers approach to students or students approach teachers is very different. What we see in India, the Guru Shishya Parampara, is very difficult to maintain here.
Mhm.
Of course, you can,
Sure.
but little
Sure.
difficult
Sure.
because the kids sometimes don't understand why we have to practice every day or why certain things are. First of all, honestly, when the girls come to class, they are 6, 7 years old. They come to a class thinking that very next day they will be dancing like Madhuri or Aishwarya, which is not the case.
Mm.
They have to go through a formal training,
Sure.
and which is not that much interesting either.
Mm.
The first thing that you need to do, or I mainly do, is make them interested in dance. Once they get interested, then anything is possible.
So how many roughly students you teach a year? Roughly.
I normally always have around 200 students.
200 students.
Plus.
And do you have some assistants to help you in teaching?
Yes and no. Every now and then I have some of my students who help.
Okay.
And recently I have another teacher who helps, but not every day.
And you teach in New Hampshire, or you have a different
I
location?
teach in Nashua, New Hampshire,
Nashua.
and in Massachusetts, Chelmsford and Shrewsbury.
Yes, okay. And how big is each class roughly?
Each class will have from 8 to 12, 14 girls, sometimes even 16.
Okay. Now, tell us a little bit about the value of dancing. I know with people are becoming very health conscious these
Yeah.
days, and the dance is also being incorporated into
Exercise
as
segment,
a
yeah.
exercise.
Of course, exercise, of course. Again, it's a form of art. And I would say just the way people do prayers, they go to temple or sit in front of a statue of their whatever god they believe in. For an artist, art is a form of a devotion or a prayer. For a singer, it's singing, musicians, it's music. For a painter, it's his painting, and just look for a dance.
Sure.
It's dance. It's a prayer that she offers to Lord. And most of the classical dances are always in praise of some or the other deity. So it's you are very devoted to dance. In this country, I would say they learn so much through dance about Indian culture.
Sure.
Like recently, in one of my class, I was talking about Lord Shiva, and one of the girls said, "Wow! In one day, I learned so much about Indian culture and about Lord Shiva." So we sometimes certain things we take it for granted that parents talk about this, or in families when we sit around the table we talk about all these traditions and religion, but we don't.
Sure.
Yeah. So when students come to dance class and on regular basis when we teach them, all the teachers, because they have to explain the dance,
Sure.
what it means, may it be classical or folk, whatever. And that's how they learn a lot about Indian culture, traditions,
Okay.
religion.
Now, you mentioned earlier that most of the dances are related with the deities and
Yeah,
gods
yeah,
and all
yeah,
this stuff. But I think that equally important is the feelings and emotions
Of course.
of human beings.
Of course.
And many times, like if you go to rural areas or villages or tribal dance,
Yeah.
they're not thinking
No,
about
they're
God.
not. They're
They
not. It is that, as you know, because we dance when we are happy.
Right.
So we bring out our emotions
Right,
through dance.
exactly.
Now there is when, as you said, in the rural area or in tribal area, they don't have any specific movements.
Right.
They just dance.
Yes.
Yeah. So, that's your emotions that you are
to
bringing out.
expressing
Yeah.
the emotions.
Yeah.
And sometimes, for people like who are very, introvert or somebody who doesn't like,
Yeah.
express like
Yeah.
things, they also feel that.
Yeah.
And I think dance can be a good way
Definitely.
to bring them out
Yeah,
of that.
yeah.
So what are the tips you will give to people like me, for example, who wants to dance, but I feel very shy and, you know what, I just cannot do.
I know, I have seen many people who think that if they dance or if they don't dance well, people are going to judge them. But I don't think so.
So if I ask you to give maybe 3 or 4 tips
Mm-hmm.
that for someone like me that, just come on the,
Oh, yeah.
and just
Yeah,
on
just,
the floor
you
and
know,
dance.
listen, as you said, you love music.
Yes.
Listen to the rhythm, follow the beat. Your footwork and your body movement has to go either with the meaning of the song, if you can understand, either go with the meaning or go with the rhythm and move your body. And slowly just get out of that shyness that you have.
So do you get some students who express that
so many,
fear
of course,
that,
of
look,
course,
I just
of
cannot
course.
do that?
Yes, I do.
So how do you overcome that?
By putting them on the stage.
Hmm.
Once or twice, they might be nervous, but they are in group, especially when they are young.
Sure.
They are in group, and slowly they come out of that. And then they start enjoying it. And I always tell them, don't worry, if you make a mistake, it's okay. Don't worry, just enjoy. Enjoy when you are dancing. Wherever you are, whether you are on the stage or in the class or in some party or function, enjoy when you are dancing. And that is, we are dancing because we want to
So
enjoy
still, it is easier for those younger kids.
Of course.
But what about somebody in 30 or 40 or 50? They come.
yeah, you are right.
for-
It's a little bit hard. It's not that easy as I'm telling you. But they slowly they do get out of that. I have some students, adult students, who come to learn, but they don't want to go on stage. They just don't feel comfortable. That happens.
Is there any trick so that I can pretend, I know a little bit and I feel
Ignore that
comfortable?
there is anybody watching you.
Well, that's a
See,
very
but
tough
mainly, you feel that because you think that people are watching you and making fun of you. If you don't think of that, then it's fine. We always sing in bathroom, right? Because nobody is going to listen to us.
Sure.
Just like that.
Okay.
If you dance, think that nobody is watching. Or if they watch, that's fine. I want to dance. I want to enjoy.
So now coming back to a little bit on the charity side, you have been involved with many community organizations,
Yeah.
non-profit groups and charities. Which are some of your favorite groups you have been working with?
The thing like that, whoever approaches me, if I have time, and if I'm not committed somewhere else, I always try to help them out.
Okay.
Yes.
And what you do? What is your hobby? Like, for example, when you are not dancing or teaching?
Reading. I read a lot. I like to travel, read.
So what type of reading you do?
Mostly Gujarati.
Mostly Gujarati.
Mostly Gujarati, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything like fiction or?
Everything.
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 Okay. And so we are really looking forward to
Yeah.
on the Wedding Expo, and I think what you told me about the brides, which sounds like a fascinating idea,
Yeah.
and I think people are really going to have fun and
Yeah,
enjoy.
so I have brides. And you asked me about the help. Yes, Vidhi Dalia will be helping me with makeup and everything.
Excellent.
And the girls, you asked me about all this attire and everything. So some of the girls, because they recently got married, so
Okay.
they had them. Some I had them, and I tried to look for it. Few things I got from India.
Oh, excellent.
So should be exciting. I'm excited. My students are excited.
And I'm very excited too,
Good.
because I think it's a great concept.
should be, it
and,
should be.
This is one thing
And
where
I also have a fusion bride.
Oh.
Forgot to mention that.
Okay.
Because see, in recent times we have so many mixed marriages, and my niece, she married to a non-Indian, so her outfit was Gujarati cum Western.
Okay.
So you'll see that too.
So the fusion. Tell me a little bit more about this fusion bride.
What she did, she used this white and red gold color combination. She made it like a sari, and then it, how the white wedding gown has this trail going back. So that's how she had a material in the
Mhm.
back, which gave a very nice look to it.
Yeah. If somebody wants to buy those dresses, is it possible to buy them here in the Newland?
Which
Or
one, fusion style?
fusion style or typical Indian bride?
I'm pretty sure they can buy that.
They can buy.
Now we have so many people who do this kind of business, right? Selling saris and attire, wedding attires. I'm pretty sure they
Excellent.
can, yeah.
Jasmine, thank you very much. It was a
Thank
pleasure
you so
talking to you
much.
and looking forward to seeing
Me
you.
too.
Great.